Chosen one, I want you to take a look at this picture. The picture I've just shown you is of a pastor that is running a church. So that is where his congregation meets, the members of the church. That's where they are praying from. So you've seen the picture. Let us take a look at this home now. Take a look at this home. The home you've just seen is the home of that pastor that is running that church. Now, you guys know I don't mention names. You can do your own research and you will figure it out who I'm talking about, who I'm talking about. So you have been following this church for ages. That has been your church. 1 year, 2 years, maybe 3, maybe even more. Maybe even you're serving in that church. And then you are struggling to pay your own rent. You can barely pay your rent. Your rent is about, let's say $20, $30 a month. Maybe let's say $50 a month. And you cannot pay your rent. But you're a very faithful member of the church. Now, have you ever been in that church and that church has ever given you even 1 month's worth of rent? Have you been to that church that you're praying? I'm giving you an example of this church, but there can be so many. And you had a problem with rent. You came to church and that pastor actually paid your rent, even for 1 month. That's a question that you need to answer yourselves. Now I have another question for you, chosen ones. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to wake up? I understand it's difficult to wake up. So you're not yet in that frequency where you can believe things that are outside of the box. You cannot think outside of the box, okay? So you're not thinking for yourself. Your church leaders told you, go sell your land and come and donate to the church. There's no problem with donations, okay? People donate every now and then. But now, you went and sold your land and you came and gave this money to the church. Now you cannot even pay your own rent. Now you see, for anyone to wake up, first of all, they have got to start thinking for themselves. And the only way to think for yourself is by starting with some serious questions. You have to ask yourself very serious questions, okay? What is going to happen for you in the long term? How are things going to turn out? Where do you see yourself between the period of 5 to 10 years? Are you improving? For the longest of time you've been praying, have there been any changes in your own situation? Let us get another example. Okay, you've been working this job. no problem. You can work the job. How long has it been? Maybe 10, 15 years. You have devoted all the time and energy into this work. That's all you know. But now you're starting to realize that the job is toxic, okay? Your job is toxic. You don't even enjoy the work yourself. You're thinking like, you feel like you're being pushed. You know, when you wake up and you're going to work and you're like, you don't know what the boss will say, what the manager is going to say. You don't know what they're going to tell you, how much work they're going to give you. You don't understand nothing. And you started to hate your job. But now you're thinking that, okay, there's bills to pay, so you have to work, you know. You really have to work. No problem with that, you have to work. But now you're starting to question. In the long run, you've been there 10 years, 15 years. You're still renting. All that energy you've invested in that company, whatever corporation, you're still paying rent. You don't even own your own home. And now you're thinking in the long term, how long are you going to continue renting? So when are you going to ever wake up one day and build your own house? Or maybe buy your own house? But now you're starting to see that this job, it's a cycle. So you're just going to keep on doing the same job over and over again. You're still going to get the same money. Sometimes you haven't even got a raise in the last 5, 6, 7 years. So you're believing that there is something else. There has to be more, okay? You are not going to wake up every day just going somewhere to make somebody rich. You're thinking that maybe it's time for you to, you know, create something for yourself. You don't know where to start. You know there is something more. You don't know what it is. Maybe you're looking for it. You haven't yet found it. You're going to start by asking yourself some deep questions. What if something happened and that job was shut down? That means that you're going to be jobless. Okay? Everybody will be laid off and you're going to be jobless. Or maybe let's say you have been sacked from work, fired from work, and you're going to sit at home, maybe look for another job, and you don't know where to start. So waking up starts with sitting down and asking yourself very serious, exclusive questions. There is things you need answers. You need to know what it is have you got to do to make it happen on your own without external influence, without external help. How are you going to start making it on your own? Okay? That has just been a job example. Let's talk about relationships. You're tired of your marriage. Your partner is mistreating you. You have a very toxic wife, maybe toxic husband. They cannot change. You know, you have done everything. They cannot change. They just keep on getting worse and worse every day. You are in this cycle. You're trapped. You have kids. But you believe that there is good people out there. You know that there is nice people you can date and they can make you happy. But now you're stuck with this toxic individual and you don't want to let it go. When are you going to wake up? Chosen ones. That's a very important question. When are you really going to wake up? There has been a relationship, marriage example. We can talk about Another scenario of what? Career. You know, you had this job, you was in school, you studied very hard, you gave it your all. You know, you got the degrees, I don't know, diplomas. And then you finish job, and then you got the job. Or you finish school and then you got the job. But now it's been 5 years down the road, 6, 7 years. And you're thinking like, this is not what I signed up for. When you was in school, you studied something different. Now you have this job, and it's the complete opposite of something that you studied. So you ask yourself another question. What was the whole meaning of your school? Why did you go to study in the first place? If you were studying to become something, now you finish whatever it is you studied. Let's say you wanted to be a pilot. And now you're in a country where they don't even have an airline. They don't even have one plane. So which planes are you going to do? Are you going to drive, whatever? So who is going to give you a job? You've been studying in a country, there are no planes. They don't even have a plane. You finish your studies with excellence. Now you don't have a job. So what did you do? You put yourself together and you went and found some job in the shoe shop, maybe a clothes company, maybe one factory somewhere. Now you're doing something completely different. And then eventually you're finding out it's even a toxic job. You don't even like what you do. You know, do you know that moment when you wake up and, you go to work? And for some reason, you kind of like lack the motivation. You don't have motivation. You don't like the job. You don't like the workmates. It feels like you're being forced to do something you don't even want. Now, let me tell you something, chosen ones. Changes happen when you sit down one day and you put everything up for questioning. You have got to ask yourself very serious questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I was forced to wake up. I wasn't prepared for this, but I was forced to wake up because I realized that I was dating. I was in a relationship with an energy vampire for the longest period of time. So I had to wake up, okay? This discovery pushed me into a very deep awakening. And in those first couple of weeks, I would sit down and ask myself questions. How much time have I wasted? Are there really any good people out there? What do I need to change? Maybe it's something with me. Maybe I need to heal. Maybe I need to do this. So I went out of that bubble. I did the work, and life has never been the same. So if you're a person who is out there, this video is for you, chosen ones, okay? For anything to change, you're fed up with the cycle, you're fed up with the marriage, you're fed up with your relationship, you're fed up with the job, sometimes you're even tired of going to church. You're like, why do you keep on going to church and nothing is happening? Some of you are paying money for miracles. There are some of those church leaders, they will tell you that, okay, so you have to pay this amount of money so that you can receive a miracle. You're even paying for miracles. Regardless of how much you're paying, nothing is happening. And you're tired of everything. Everything just doesn't seem to make any sense. So when you're the person who is asking yourself all these questions, that means that it's time to wake up. You are either going to wake up by force, or you're going to be forced by the universe to wake up. And you're going to have no other option but to stand up and fight for yourself. Okay? Find that other version of you, the other life that you've only dreamt about, and find what it is you need to do to change your life and move in a different direction that is actually serving your soul. Okay, chosen ones? So I bounce the question back to you. When are you going to wake up? When do you feel it's enough? Okay, when is it enough? What do you call enough? What do you see as enough? Because when you can answer that question and you find out when is it enough, when have you had enough, that is when the biggest transformation of your life will kick off. And I can promise you, your life will never be the same. So let us know what you think about the video in the comment section below. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. All the things you need, info you need, is in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.